I love Galvatron. It's just too bad that Hasbro and Takara don't seem to share in my enthusiasm. I mean, we've gotten Masterpiece freaking Inferno before we have gotten a Masterpiece Galvatron. That is an absolute crime. But anyways, Galvatron is one of my favorite Decepticons. I prefer him over Megatron. The big reason why is because my childhood Megatron toy was this Energon Megatron. I don't know if you can notice, but his design is very heavily inspired by G1 Galvatron. And it's like, yes, I had Megatron growing up, but he looked like Galvatron. And also in Transformers Cybertron, when I watched it, he was mostly Galvatron when I was watching the show. I remember the exact scene when I was a kid watching it, and I rewatched the show more recently, so I vividly remember it, when he's kind of all shadowy, and then he's like, I am Galvatron, and he's Galvatron now. Also, the name Galvatron just really rolls off the tongue way more than Megatron. By the way, I don't know what the hell that Nicki Minaj Megatron song was, but it was absolutely awful, and I actually needed to listen to something good just to wipe my ears clean, because that was awful. If you're a Transformers fan and if you're curious why her song is named Megatron, do not watch it, because it's not worth it. It's awful. Anyways, yeah, Galvatron. I love him. I have figures of him. Not many of these are that good, but I do enjoy myself some Galvatron. Let's talk about some of the smaller ones first. This is the cutie little Heroes of Cybertron Galvatron. Look at his little pose. He's so cute. It's like he could be pouting like this, like, oh yes, you know, I'm Spock. Or he could just be like, I'm shooting you, and I'm also kind of just rubbing the back of my head, but I'm not being able to touch it. Really cute, weird little guy. I love it so much, though. It's like a little baby robot Leonard Nimoy, and I'm really into that. So yeah, there's a little Galvatron there. The next up, that was Heroes of Cybertron. Now this is wait, that was Robot Heroes. This is Robot Heroes. This is Heroes of Cybertron. Galvatron, one of those little painted figurines, slightly posable. You can move some things on him. You can move his head. You can move his arms. I don't think you can move his wrists or his legs. But yeah, kind of going for the same pose, honestly. If you look, they're pretty much doing the same kind of thing. Different colors of purple, though. I really do like this guy. Not as much as the Soundwave. That Soundwave from this line was so good, it made my favorite Soundwaves list. But this guy is still cute, and I still really like it. I like having it in my Galvatron collection. Next up is Creo, or Creon Galvatron. Clearly, this helmet piece was not made for him, because it just doesn't look like Galvatron. I see this thing and I need to like squint, and I'm like, I guess it's Galvatron. Definitely a weird kind of shade of purple. Not really something you really think of when you think of Galvatron. But hey, it's okay. It's a little Galvatron. Came with tons of extra stupid little pieces to give him a really horrible looking cannon mode. Yeah, those just went straight in a baggie, straight in a drawer. But I do like him though. I like his little fusion cannon. I think it's the same piece as Megatron's. That's okay. I do like him though. And then last little Galvatron is the Creon Galvatron from Age of Extinction. I kind of dig the Age of Extinction Galvatron design, mostly because when Age of Extinction came out, I was just so excited for that movie. He kind of has the crown going on, but not really. They definitely could have made him purple, man. Purple would have looked so cool. But freaking Michael Bay was probably like, purple's a girl color. He needs to be gray like all the other robots in my movies. Nice Creon, though. The print on this is really good. Nice face as well. Actually has a unique headpiece. And he kind of has these little tanks on the back of his arms to just kind of give him some detail. Has Creo printed on his foot. This actually came with the Blu-ray DVD set of Age of Extinction. That's where I got this one. I don't think he came with this base, but I just display him on the base. Yeah, also came with an Optimus as well. I do enjoy it. Next up is the infamous Deluxe Class Universe Galvatron. Very odd figure. I do enjoy it, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy this figure, but it's just very odd. He's not even symmetrical. He transforms into a realistic tank, which I appreciate. But his articulations is really odd in some places, like his arm. Like you can't get this arm out at all. And it has the fusion cannon on it. That's awful. This arm you can move just fine, though, even though the joint's a loose ball joint. I do not approve of just standard friction ball joints on Transformers. his arm is just so odd. Like, it just moves really weird and freely. You can see how loose it is. The head sculpt, definitely an oddity on this guy. Definitely an oddity. I feel like they didn't paint his face in all the way, and his face is also just kind of odd looking. He has this panel. You can just flip it up, and then you can go, whoop! Where'd his head go? Oh, it went right here. I know it's for transformation, but I find that funny. His legs are very odd. He can join the tiny thigh club because his thighs are absolutely puny. He's just so weird, man. Look at him. He's so weird. But I do like him, though. He's got a butt flap. It's never a good sign. He just has, like, things hanging off of him. Odd guy. Definitely worse. Probably one of the worst ones here. It's definitely worse than the freaking Titan's Return, but the Titan's Return really disappoints me. Big issue is this face. They decided to give him a stupid mask, and this stupid mask covers his face. And as you can see, his face is left in shadow because of it. Oh, you want to move his head? Boom, there you go. That's it. The mask in the promo pictures was sculpted completely differently from what we actually got, and the face was originally painted in silver. But as you can see, flipping the mask down, the face is just gray plastic. So that looks really cheap and awful. And guess what? This guy never got, like, an actual, like, you didn't have options for an upgrade set for this guy. You had Shapeways helmets that looked even goofier, and then you had, like, I don't remember what company made it, but there was like, a very obscure company that made, like, an upgrade head. It just wasn't, come on, man. You have to pop the head off. Why couldn't you just make upgrades and just move his cannon off to his side? Because they have his cannon covering his arm at all times. What a stupid design. Absolutely awful. The rest of the figure's alright. I like the color. I like the sculpt. I mean, he's just such a disappointment, man. I really hope we get a Galvatron in one of these War for Cybertron lines. If only there is a nicely improved KO upscale of Titan's Return Galvatron. Oh, wait. There is. It's this one. He is called Big Cannon. And he is called Big Cannon because he is big. And he also transforms into a cannon because he's Galvatron. So yeah, this is a knockoff upscale, but also pretty much a complete resculpt of the Titan's Return. Same kind of transformation scheme, same kind of things going on, but it is just... This is Galvatron, man. This is my definitive favorite Galvatron. Now, I don't really collect third party really much. I pretty much justified buying this because, hey, it's a knockoff upscale. But this is the most third party thing I own. I just couldn't accept that I didn't have a good Galvatron in my collection that was like a G1 Galvatron. I just needed to get something to quench my thirst. And thankfully this thing exists because, damn, it is nice. I mean, looking at this head sculpt, that is freaking robot Leonard Nimoy right there. That is really nice looking, and it really hits the light really, really good. The way I see it, if Hasbro ends up making a really nice Galvatron I can actually put on my classic shelf again, I can just put this guy with like my Galvatron other figures, because I have a spot where I just keep all my extra Galvatrons. Could put this guy with my Masterpiece stuff, because he looks that good. He doesn't have Masterpiece engineering, but he has a really good cannon mode as well. One complaint I have with him is that you can't just freely turn the cannon, because it has a shaped peg. And you can see the peg right there. It's a hexagon. And then you have to like unpeg it, and then you have to move it again and then replug it in to get it bent, which is a real shame. I really wish that peg would just move freely. But still, articulation is really good on good old Big Cannon here. He can move his fingers out, which I appreciate, even though he doesn't come with any accessories. Yeah, he's a good figure. He's nice and clicky. I do enjoy him. Quality feels good for being a knockoff, sort of, kind of. I mean, he's kind of third party. I don't know. Just make sure you throw a repro label on him, because he's going to need it. But yeah, I love him. He's my big cannon boy, and I love him. Let's finish off with the G1 Galvatrons with G1 Galvatron. This is the actual pure boy G1 Galvatron. He is, you know, a complete, you know, G1 Galvatron. I do have repro labels on him because the stickers I had on the figure, he was missing some stickers, and some of them just weren't in good shape. My figure overall is in decent shape, besides some of the chrome is wearing off. Really interesting thing. I'm happy I have it. My camera's picking up his face as a real face, so let's talk about his face, because it's very odd looking. Very, very G1 Hasbro desperately trying to sculpt something new because they've run out of Diaclone molds kind of face sculpt. Still enjoy it, though. Maybe wondering, where are his eyes? He lights up, and he makes lights and sounds, but I don't have batteries in him because he's a vintage toy, and I don't like keeping batteries in vintage toys. So, yeah, he has a 9-volt battery. You press the trigger, and he makes a very, very annoying noise. This isn't going to be a full-fledged review of him. If I do review him in full, I will get the batteries in him. But yeah, he's got his gun. He's very squeaky and clicky with his joints. But hey, he has joints, man. He can move his arms a bit. You can't really move his legs much at all, except you can move his knees a bit, which is kind of appreciated. I mean, you can kind of get him posed. Like, you can get his arm up to shoot his fusion cannon, which, I mean, you can push his legs down, which you're not supposed to be able to do that. You can turn his waist. I mean, he's kind of poseable, man. Look out for Galvatron, because he's going to come and he's going to kill you, dude. Yeah, there's Galvatron. No idea why he was colored like that. I have absolutely no idea. There was a Takara reissue, though, that colored him more properly. But anyways, let's talk about Cybertron and Galvatron, my childhood Galvatron. Not the most traditional design for Galvatron. Believe it or not, I feel like this looks way better as a Megatron than a Galvatron. But hey, he's Galvatron, so I had to show him in the video. I love his purple face so much. His purple face gives me life. I just love the silver. He just looks so nice. One of my favorites. Such a nice leader class figure. If you're collecting Transformers Cybertron stuff, go after this guy. I don't want to fully review it because I do want to make a video on the entire Transformers Cybertron toy line. But get it, man. Get it. This is such a good Galvatron. Out of all of the Unicron Trilogy toy lines, Cybertron is the one where you should look into it and you should buy some figures. Because Cybertron is such a solid toy line. I'm trying to get it all. I'm trying to be like Pokemon and catch them all. Last Galvatron, then. The reason I sighed is not because I think this figure's bad. It's because I think people are going to give me a lot of shit for my opinion on it. I absolutely love this thing. Yes, it is a complete shell former. I don't care. I mean, there is all of his truck. You could, like, cut off his backpack and, like, his legs, the stuff on the back of his legs, and have the truck and the robot completely independent from one another and still both be functional toys. Yes, you can do that. But this Galvatron, man, is just... I kind of, like I said, I kind of dig the design. This one definitely has some more color than the Creon, and I do appreciate that. He has his gun, which transforms from his arm, and I appreciate that. I wish it had more paint, but I think Takara did that. The articulation's really good. You have a nice ball-jointed head. You can move him around. He's kind of clicky in some places. He has a hole in his chest if you want to stick an Optimus Prime sword, which is fun. He's got really nice leg articulation. He's got ankle pivot. I mean, his robot mode is really good. Honestly, not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite Age of Extinction Voyager. There, I think I said it. This is my favorite Age of Extinction Voyager. What were the other ones? Evasion Mode Optimus was very good. He might be my favorite. I might have spoken too soon. But I definitely prefer this over Hound, over Grimlock, over Slog. I definitely prefer him over those. Really, just... I love it, man. Don't put it down just because it's a shell former, because as a shell former, it handles it very well. Look at that backpack, man. That's not much of anything at all. That's really good. So yeah, there we go, man. There's my Galvatron collection. I love Galvatron, like I said, and I like him more than Megatron. He's my boy. One of my favorite Decepticons. There's Soundwave, then next is probably Galvatron, then Brawl. Actually, I think Brawl's probably 2. Soundwave, Brawl, Galvatron, Thundercracker, and Breakdown. Those are my 5 favorite Decepticons. I might end up doing videos on all of them eventually. I've done a Soundwave. I haven't done a Soundwave video. I did a 10 favorite Soundwave, but I haven't done a Soundwave collection. Let me know if you want to see like my collections on Brawl and all those others I just listed off. But yeah, there we go. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my social media links down in the description below. Have a good day, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. This video was bad comedy. Yes, I had to make that joke at the very end. Oh, coronation stars. I'm done.